Hey guys, welcome to a bit of a bonus video for the Museum of the Americas, which is actually the reason that the president was in this city to begin with. But it was also a pretty cool boss arena, and it's got some good stuff in it. The attraction we're most interested in is the Zombies, Facts, and Fictions. And I'm going to be showing all of them, including the ones I've already shown, just for completeness.
The zombie phenomenon can be traced back to an extremely rare insect hybrid discovered in the jungles of Central America in 2005. One sting or bite from an infected person implants microscopic larvae into the bloodstream of the infected, which grow in the brainstem, eventually killing the host and taking over motor functions. This figure represents a typical zombie. Opaque eyes, greenish or gray pallor, and rash-like patches of decomposing flesh. Despite the claims of zombie rights groups, scans of zombie brains reveal that they are in fact entirely brain dead. Zombie behavior is completely controlled by parasitic larvae which fuse to the brainstem shortly after infection occurs. Carlito Keys is the Central American terrorist who began the Willamette outbreak seemingly for no reason other than his own pleasure. He claimed that his actions were the result of an American government massacre of his village of Santa Cabeza, but no evidence has ever been found to back this up. Journalist Frank West became famous for being one of the few survivors of the first American zombie outbreak in Willamette in 2006. West was awarded the highest prize in journalism for his photography from inside the epidemic. His conspiracy theories about government involvement have been largely discredited. Major outbreaks have occurred in Willamette, Las Vegas, and Fortune City, killing upwards of 700,000 people. Many smaller outbreaks have occurred with far greater loss of life. Some were caused by families trying to hide an infected loved one, but for many others, the cause is still unknown. A disproportionate number appear to have begun in foster homes and orphanages. Chuck Green was one of the few survivors of the Fortune City outbreak. Chuck Green was initially accused of beginning the outbreak intentionally as an act of revenge for his wife's death in Las Vegas. He was subsequently cleared when he was able to produce evidence that television personality Tyrone King framed Green to cover up a plan to loot the city post-outbreak. The life-saving drug Zombrex, developed by the pharmaceutical company Phenotrans in 2007, allows people bitten by zombies to avoid the same fate. After Fortune City, this pioneering company was forced to declare bankruptcy after unsubstantiated rumors linked them to the outbreak. In 2017, Congress made it mandatory for all infected citizens to have GPS chips implanted to provide direct doses of Zombrex, reducing the risk of further outbreaks. A system of microphones and cameras spread through the country help monitor everyone's movements and activities in all public areas, keeping Americans safe from terror.
Alright, so apart from the zombie stuff directly related to Dead Rising, there's also some other displays in this main room, including the history of warfare.
Many of the early implements of war that you see before you were discovered right here in Los Perdidos. The city of Los Perdidos is very proud to have been the historic site of the earliest known war as well as the earliest recorded genocide. This display honors that rich history.
So most of these displays are very tongue-in-cheek.
Over 500,000 Americans died during the Civil War. Many Americans are unaware that this far exceeds the casualties from even the recent War of the Tablets in Shenzhen province. Despite the clashes which followed the disbanding of the Supreme Court, America has thus far avoided any more civil conflicts of this magnitude.
That one's actually pretty interesting. Disbanding the Supreme Court, but then also something about a war over mobile devices, I guess?
The aircraft carrier replica that you see before you is a model of the ship used in the recent Amero-Canadian conflict. This conflict escalated from a series of riots following the 2014 hockey season when a team from Boston lost to a Vancouver club by a score of 15-1.
And all I'm going to say about that one is that history did not work out that way. Speaking of history, I guess, prehistoric times is the next display.
This partial specimen of the extinct woolly mammoth was discovered when construction began on the city's new cage fighting arena. High ratings meant that construction must continue, and this was all archaeologists were able to recover. Her bottom half remains beneath the locker room of the new arena. The volcano, which lies north of the city, has recently increased its seismic activity. It remains a popular spot for subdivisions due to the excellent vistas of the city and ocean. Central heating costs for these homes remain substantially lower than in other parts of the metropolitan area. The largest known species of dinosaur was discovered here in 2018. Its territory on this continent stretched north from the Tropic of Cancer only up to the 48th parallel. With its apparently ravenous appetite, it was territorial and unusually acquisitive, and habitually stomped on other dinosaurs when enraged or excited.
So that one's the only really interesting one, which I guess is a dinosaur metaphor for the United States. Next attraction is the oceans.
The great breakthrough in deciphering the mysterious language of the whales came in 2015. Detailed analysis of whale communication reveals that it mostly consists of complaints about the hygiene of podmates and crude references to coitus. Research with dogs continues in hopes of better results.
My hypothesis is that's probably common to all mammals.
The oceans cover 73% of the Earth's surface, but that number is rising as a result of a completely natural global warming cycle. Removal of restrictions on carbon emission limits have allowed American industry to flourish. Coincidentally, tsunamis have become increasingly devastating in the past decade. The ocean is now the largest resource for recyclable plastic on the planet. Trawlers haul upwards of 50 million tons out of the Pacific each year, providing valuable plastic for use in food packaging. This process has become easier thanks to the extinction of tuna, dolphins, and sea turtles.
Yeah, these last two ocean ones kind of go through tongue-in-cheek and straight to hardcore cynicism. The last display is the outer space exhibit, and this was sort of the focus for the boss fight with Diego.
Must have figured it out by now.
Earth is the third planet in a solar system which consists of 8 planets. Recently, a large unknown object has entered the outer edge of our system. Initial studies of its chemical components has led to speculation that it may be a previously unknown life form. Meanwhile, Uranus is reported to be growing smaller. Thanks to unmanned rovers, the legendary canals of Mars were recently discovered to be still under construction. Microscopic androids appear to be digging these canals, which are deepening at the rate of 1/2 inch per year. What intelligent life is building the canals, and to what end, is not yet known.
So I don't know if there's references I'm missing to those two, or if they're just supposed to be weird space stuff.
After it was made public in 2019 that all moon landings were in fact staged in a desert in Arizona, the nation was transfixed by the dream of actually making a lunar journey. By popular demand, the space program was renewed, and a first attempt at an authentic moon landing is expected in 2025.
Yeah, the comments about faked moon landings is coincidentally my favorite part of Interstellar. That whole scene. In any case, that's the museum. Lots of cool stuff. I like the amount of detail they put into it for something completely optional. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.